Hey, it's Myers. A few years ago, the Dragons were going to open for Judah in LA. And I bought a plane ticket out, uh, went out and stayed at my buddy AJ's place, and drove up to LA to AJ's in Long Beach and drove up to LA that night to see it was Hammer Satin opening with the Dragons, and then Judah and Don Bowles was spinning glam rock records that night. And since Steve Rodriguez had passed away, Hector Penalosa has been filling in on bass duties in the Dragons. The Dragons don't play a whole lot of shows anymore, but when they do something like that, like a reunion show or whatever, then Hector's been filling in. And I got to meet Hector that night, and I was telling Hector that I come from a redneck piece of shit town where growing up I had bullying issues and whatever, where the song "Don't Push Me Around" by the Zeros really meant a lot to me growing up. And so anyways, Hector and I got to know each other, and when I started the record label, the Sioux record label, I was talking to him about doing a project, and we've done a solo record of his that is phenomenal. It's just amazing, great power pop, punk and roll stuff. And so anyways, he'd asked me last year, about this time last year, he messaged me and asked me if I had a copy of the original Zeros 45 on Bomp. And I told him I don't. All I ever had back in the day, I had a few copies of the Zeros album on cassette, and like late 80s, early 90s, and because I had Walkmans and cassette players in my cars and whatever. So, and then in about 94, so I got a copy of the Zeros record on vinyl, the Bomp, whatever. But I never had the 45. So last year I was out in San Diego for a weekend and hanging out with Hector, and Hector says, "I got something for you," and he handed me this, the original Zeros 45 on Bomp Records. And I was taken back by it, and he said, "There's a story behind this particular one. This particular one was his grandma's. He'd given his grandma this one in 1977, and she held on to it in her stuff, never played it. And when she passed away, then his mom went and cleaned out his grandma's stuff and put it with, and said that recently his mom had been cleaning out her linen closet and found this in her linen closet and gave it back to Hector. Well, Hector gave it to me, and so like I was pretty much raised by my grandma. Like my grandma lived half a block away from my house growing up, and I spent a lot of time at my grandma's house, and she just pretty much raised me. My dad was an over-the-road truck driver and was gone all the time, and my grandma was always there. And so anyways, grandma's mean a lot to me, and the fact that I've got Hector's grandma's copy, is pretty astounding. So records mean a lot to me. I hold on to these. I hold these very dearly, but at the same time, they're no good if they're not played. So, I crack them out and drop a needle on them. So, if you want to hear what the original 77 Bomp 45 "Don't Push Me Around" sounds like, here we go.
Always want me to come, but I don't wanna. stay. Well, I'm not gonna. You're always talking about nothing. Me, I don't wanna do nothing. To me, art is nothing. So girl, ooh, don't you try. Ooh, don't you try. Ooh, don't you try to push me around. Don't push me around. You always want me to stop, but I don't wanna. You always want me to stop, well I'm not gonna. You always talk about nothing. Me, I don't wanna do nothing. To me, art is nothing. So girl, ooh, don't you try. Ooh, don't you try. Ooh, don't you try to push me around. Don't push me around. Ooh, girl, it makes me so mad. Ooh, girl, it makes me so mad.